Anger fades, but it leaves scars. Sadhguru teaches that intense emotions don't just disappear, they leave imprints on your energy body. And every outburst, every unresolved resentment doesn't just affect this life, it shapes the next one. In this video, you'll understand how anger creates karma, why it becomes a self-repeating energy loop, and how to break that cycle before it turns into your destiny. Anger is one of the most intense emotions a human can feel. And as Sadhguru says, anything you experience with intensity and unconsciousness becomes karmic imprint. That means every time you explode, suppress, or feed resentment, you're literally burning that vibration into your energy field, like branding your soul with fire. Karma doesn't just respond to what you do, it responds to what you hold emotionally. When anger becomes a pattern, it affects your voice, your gaze, your behavior. Even worse, it starts attracting situations that match that same frequency. You don't notice, but suddenly you're surrounded by more reasons to be mad. The world becomes a mirror of the energy you carry.
And the deeper truth? That energy doesn't die with the body. It carries on. Because karma is vibration, and vibration goes beyond the physical form. In other words, the anger you don't deal with now will follow your soul. What today feels like just a mood becomes tomorrow's repeating lesson. The universe doesn't punish, it repeats until you wake up. Behind every burst of anger, there's usually pain. Old frustration, unresolved abandonment, silent humiliation. Sadhguru explains that anger is the ego's way of protecting pain without admitting weakness. It's an energetic shield, but not one that heals. When you feel out of control or hurt, your instinct is to strike back, and that becomes your reaction. But what seems like strength is really defense. You're not just mad at what's happening, you're defending a wounded part of your past. Something in you was ignored, betrayed, or dismissed. And instead of healing, you hardened. That's when anger shows up. It gives the illusion that you're in charge, when really it's the anger driving the wheel. The most dangerous part? Anger never comes alone. It feeds on guilt, resentment, frustration. And that emotional cycle starts shaping your identity. You're no longer someone who gets angry, you become anger itself. That frequency starts to take over your choices, your view of life, and the karma you're building for the next round. Because where pain isn't healed, energy will repeat. Anger doesn't end when the yelling stops. It stays alive as leftover heat, body tension, looping thoughts. Sadhguru says unprocessed emotions leave energetic imprints, and anger is one of the heaviest. It clings to your energy field like invisible weight, changing how you see, feel, and attract things. You notice it when meditation feels impossible, when tiny things make you explode, when your body stays on high alert even in silence. That's not your personality, that's energy buildup. Anger clogs your energy centers, blocks your natural life force, and over time, even messes with your decisions. You stop acting with clarity and start reacting from memory. And this messy field starts to project what it carries. You begin attracting more arguments, tension, people who trigger your old wounds. It's karma trying to complete itself. But if anger is still alive in you, the lesson won't end. And here's the scary part. This doesn't stop with death. What you don't cleanse now becomes the setting for your next experience. The field you don't purify becomes the body you inherit. If anger creates karma, then freeing yourself from it is the first step to breaking the cycle. But this doesn't happen by suppressing it. Sadhguru teaches that you don't dissolve anger by fighting it, you do it by not identifying with it. The first step is simply saying, "This is in me, but it's not me."
When you can observe the emotion clearly without judgment or attachment, you pull the plug that keeps it alive.
Anger can only survive in the dark, in unconsciousness. But when you bring light through silence, meditation, or pure presence, it starts to fade. What used to be tension becomes space. What used to be defense becomes softness. In that space, energy reorganizes. Karma stops piling up and starts melting away. Because anger, once you stop feeding it, becomes inner power. Letting go of anger isn't just about calming your body, it's about freeing your soul from the loop. You're no longer reacting to the world, you're responding from awareness. That's where real transformation begins. The energy that once created pain now gives birth to compassion, direction, and clarity. And the next life, which could have mirrored your anger, now starts to reflect your peace. Nothing you live through is ever lost. Sadhguru teaches that your soul doesn't carry memories, it carries imprints, samskaras. And the vibrational state you cultivate today becomes the foundation of your next journey. That's why the presence you're building now is the greatest gift you'll ever leave, to yourself. The question isn't, what will I take with me? It's, who am I becoming? If you're living in conflict, anger, or self-punishment, your subtle field is absorbing it all as a pattern. And when this body drops, that pattern stays, becoming the kind of life, body, mind, and challenges you'll face next. This isn't punishment, it's just continuity. Karma's not in a rush, it just keeps echoing until someone breaks the loop with awareness.
But there's always a turning point. When you start living in a lighter, clearer, more peaceful state, something shifts. The energy that used to scream now whispers. The soul that was fighting starts to rest. And in that state, you stop just reacting to life and begin to shape your destiny. What will your next life inherit from you? Unhealed rage or cultivated peace? In the end, karma responds to your silent choice. The anger you ignore today becomes the weight your soul carries tomorrow. Transforming it isn't about control, it's about not losing yourself in it. Watch now. Overcome fear, anger, and anxiety. Sadhguru reveals the secret to beating negative emotions. And see how peace can be more powerful than any reaction. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and keep walking this journey. Because your next destination starts with the choice you make right now.